All right, so today what we're going to be doing is setting our all roof tile hooks. So these are our all roof tile hooks. We're able to adjust them just a little bit, just like this one down here. We got this one a little adjusted, and the reason we want to adjust it is we've already taken out the tile. I have another video for that, but what we want to do is we want to be able to put the hook right in between this rib, because we have to cut this part of the tile off, and I don't want to cut the structure of the tile off. So what I do is I set this tile right where it's going to reset back into the roof. So that's where it's going to go back onto the roof. And then I go ahead and adjust this tile of where it's going to be right in line with that rib right there. So that's where I want my hook to lay when I put the tile back. So now that's where I know where I want it. I go ahead and set a little mark on the tar paper of where I'm going to set that hook at. Now I've already echolocated where the stud's at approximately, but I want to be exactly in the middle. So you can hear that the stud's somewhere here or here, somewhere in there I think is where the stud's at. But I want to know exactly where it's at. So I have this little tool here that goes into the roof area, and then I can rotate it until it hits the plank or hits the stud, and then it'll tell me exactly where the center mark is on that stud, and that's where I want to be. So I'm actually going to intentionally miss the first drill, and so I will put this hole underneath where the silicone is going to be. So here's where I'm going to put the hook at, and then I come off the roof just a little bit, and so now I know that this section right here is going to be underneath this plate, so that's where I want to drill. So I'm going to move this out of the way, and I'm going to drill to miss. So that obviously is a miss. It just kind of sunk right in, right? So then I take this, I set it back, and I put this inside this hole, and then I extend it out, and then I tell it to go left or right, and now I know exactly where the center is on the stud. So just like I was guessing that the stud's going to be like right here and right here, and the center is going to be somewhere right here, I was actually pretty close on my echolocation. So this is the center of the stud. That's where I want to drill my tool holes at. And so if I can hit that for the center of this stud, we're going to be right in the middle of this rafter. And so now that I know that that's going to be the center, I go ahead and go put my hook back. So this hole is underneath this bracket. I'm going to come out on the rib for this tile, and then I know that I'm going to be drilling into these two holes right here for my lags. So I go like that and like that, and that's going to be in the center of the stud. And then I pre-drill the holes so that way I don't split the rafter. And so this is the lag that's going to go into the rafter right here. So I've done this a couple of times. I kind of know. You can see there's a black mark that I've put on there. That's how far I drill. So I drill to the pre-hole so it sets onto the rafter. And so here's my two little marks that I put on the blacktop. And then I just know that I've gone to that depth that I need. I'm gonna do the same thing right here. There we go. So now I have my holes. And then let me go ahead and drill out the silicone. Okay. So now I'm going to seal up with my silicone. All right, here we go.
It's just dry.
There we go. And now I know that this is going to be under the plate anyway, so I don't really have to worry about water getting under it. And then I just put a bead around this hole. I don't need it in it because it's going to be in the stud. So it's going to come out around the bracket. So go like that. Now I go ahead and take my bracket. Put it right where it needs to be. There it is. Put my first screw in. you can see, if you come closer to the hole, it's very sealed, and the hole that I put in the roof is also sealed, and I have the hook exactly where I want it to be, right where I marked it. So this hook is perfect. And then I go back and I just tighten these up, but I first need to grind this part of the tile off. And so I just set this part on the roof so I don't walk on this part of the roof, because this part is all really weak right now. It doesn't have any support underneath it. So like here, I'm walking on this part of the roof because it has the underneath part tile to support it, but this section does not. So I leave the tile just like that. I'm not going to step in this area, I just know it, and then I move on to the next hook. So now I know that this is where my stud's running, and so now I'll be able to find that stud on this next hook that I'm doing. And that's how we do our adjustable all tile hook penetrations.